Yeah, bit of a fiasco today. There he is. Yes, here I am. Hello, Rez. I see ya. I know. 2 years later, the stream is starting. I'm sorry. Found a solution to my one monitor problem. You did? What did you find there, Jetix? Also, did a crazy buzz cut. Me too. It's because my hair is getting long, and I didn't feel like going to the barber, so I told my wife to just buzz it, and she was like, "Okay." I use something called dramatic reveal. Hey, yo, 3 stream streak for you, Simon. Hell yeah! Twitch chat overlay. So I have in-game Twitch chat. So like the while you're playing the game, the chat shows up. So I've actually thought about something like that. Yeah, so I've actually thought about having something like that for when I do gameplay and such. Of course, I'd have to customize it to what it would be, what I would want it to be, because then I would want to make sure that I'm also getting the YouTube chat and various other things. So, but that's why I now have the Elgato prompter, so that makes it easier. It's also coded. So how does it run? 10 stream streak for the flash. Hell yeah. Oh, you can customize it. Oh, you'll have to put a link to that in the Discord in like the streamer tools. Put that in there because I'm sure a lot of us would like to use it and figure it out and such. Basic CSS.
Darling, basic CSS is like a suit from a thrift shop. It gets the job done, but it won't win any fashion shows.
I mean, that's true, but I mean, it's still better than nothing, right, Felix? So I'm sorry about like getting started right now. Did not expect the amount of problems to pop up that did. That was not expected. Hello, Jeremy. So I'm too lazy to do this. I mean, that's fair. I look, everything I create is built for the express purpose of me being lazy. Like this goes to the famous Bill Gates hiring policy, is that he always wants to hire the laziest person because they'll find the most efficient way to do things. That's me. Ryzen or GeForce? Oh, you mean like the Radeon? Radeon or a GeForce? So here is the question I have to ask you when you're choosing between the two. Do you want to make use of things that are NVIDIA exclusive, such as the background removal tool, and the face tracking tool, and various other components? Because if you want to use those things, you have to have NVIDIA. Me, I go the old school route of using an actual green screen and lighting and all that stuff because I find it to be cleaner anyway. I like having that very clean. I'm running on a Radeon. It does have some things that are going to be a little wonky, but it's not, for gaming, it's not an issue. Gaming is perfectly fine. It's when I go to use Blender and doing graphic design work, there's some differences that I have to work with. And then when it comes to streaming, there's a few features I'm missing out on. But overall, you can choose either one. So it honestly just depends on what your preference is and what you need from it. Buying a new PC. Yeah, so just consider the options of, AMD usually winds up being a cheaper route to go. Because they just, they try to price things to be very competitive. But if you don't need If you don't need a lot of NVIDIA's features, that especially the ones that Elgato uses with the background removal, then the NVIDIA's noise removal, I use VSTs because I find them to be better. You know, and some of the other NVIDIA features, you can go with the Radeon with no problem, and then you can save yourself a little bit of money. I'm going RX 9070. It's faster than the 4070. Nice. My typing sucks today. It's all right. I'm limited on money to buy. I can spend 1,200 euro. So it's important that I can play games. And then, yeah. So OBS and Streamer.bot makes my PC now going in overtime. So one of the I build my own PC. And what I'm running now, just that way you know what I'm running. I have the... Well, here, I can, let me bring up the list of parts here. Left screen. There we go. So I'll bring up hardware monitor. I know there's a newer version. It's going to scream at me for it. So, I'm running the Ryzen 9 CPU. It's a 12-core CPU, I believe, if I remember right. Yeah, I'm running the 5900, the 5900X, Ryzen 9 5900X, which with the 12 cores it has, it provides me plenty of computing power on the CPU that I need. And then when it comes to the graphics card, well, I'm running an RX 7800 XT. And that has 12 gigs of DDR5 RAM. And honestly, like, those work perfectly fine for me when it comes to gaming, when it comes to streaming. I've also spent a lot of time updating my PC and improving it to handle the insanity I put it through. So when I'm actually, going live now, if I bring up the task manager, PC's have a bit of a slow day today. So like this is not running a game or anything. Like this is just straight up my setup and running. So like I'm only using 40% of the CPU. My RAM usage is ridiculous. I had to get 64 gigs of RAM because of how many video files and other things that I have running. And then the GPU is nice and low. So I mean, for streaming, AMD is perfectly fine. I'm running with it and I love it. You want to have OBS and Streamer.bot also. So is the current PC you're streaming from, is that capable of running just the OBS and Streamer.bot and running all those things without an issue? Because here's the solution I would put to you. Do you have... I do, technically now. Since I got the tablet up and going, I have 1, 2, 3. The 3 main monitors. Then I have the Elgato prompter, which technically is a monitor. And then I've got the drawing tablet, which is technically a monitor. So I technically have 5. So, yeah, there's that. And then I got the laptop sitting there, so, when I stream and have OBS open and Streamer.bot, my CPU is going wild. Okay. So here's the thing. When you add something to your OBS and have it trigger, so like, let's say you have a media file, like a video or something that gets played. How do you start it and how does it end? And that there's a reason why I asked this, and there's a tool you can download for OBS that'll help you out with this. What did it do? Source Profiler. So if you download Source Profiler, thank God Excelder finally did this because it makes it so much easier. You can sit and look at what is taking up what you're using a lot of your processing power on in OBS. And so you could have stuff nested in scenes that don't need to be active, and you can actually have Streamer.bot turn it off when it's not being used and then turn it on when it needs to be used. And so that is a trick I do to keep a lot of my OBS usage down. Okay, well then let's say 6. Yeah, something like that. 10 to laptop. Yeah, so I mean it's technically 6, but it's also it's technically a two PC setup, Because I mean for me, this rig, the main rig is literally all streaming and Streamer.bot, all that. The laptop is when I'm going to play a game and I need to have something dedicated for the game. I mean, normally I would do the PS5 and we'd be fine, but now I'm starting to turn into a PC gamer. So yeah, I got to use the laptop. This is what I have now. Intel Core i3. Ooh. 8 gigs of RAM. That would likely be an issue. X64 processor. It's an Acer. Okay. Can you link that plugin? Yeah. Yeah, the profiler is just amazing. Again, Exceldro is just he just knocks it out of the park all the time. So this is helping me to identify a lot of things. Normally, what I had to do is I had to like literally go through and figure out what's open, what's running a lot, and just playing with stuff. And one of the things I found was Felix was just eating up a crap ton of processing power. And so I had to figure out ways to fix Felix to bring that down, because he was eating up like 30% of the CPU. I mean, this was the previous CPU. And, it was bogging things down. So being able to look through and see what is running and using up a lot of the power of your OBS definitely helps. And Streamer.bot, OBS take the most CPU. Yeah, 80%. So yeah, that was what a problem I had, where OBS was taking up like 80%. I mean, you can even see here, it's taking up the most processes for me, and it's going to happen when that's like the primary thing that's running. But you may have stuff that is sitting open in your OBS that is continuously using resources, even though nothing's happening. And that's one thing that I try to point out, because I've seen this happen a lot, is you got to go through your OBS. You've got to look at what eyeballs are on and which ones aren't. So if I bring my sources out here for just this scene, so like in here, if I was to turn this on, I don't even know what this is. I guess it doesn't have anything anymore, but everything you turn on, even within scenes, all those are going to draw power. So like if I go ahead and I look at the reaction scene and see what that's doing, even when it's technically not even active, it's bringing 6 to 7% of my CPU. And that's because I have stuff sitting in there that is still open and doesn't need to be. Most of those are the stuff for like alerts and things like that. So I have my scenes open and no videos playing. So the video doesn't have to be playing. If the eyeball is still on, it is still paging and still using resources. This is something I learned. Oh, when you're not using a source in OBS, like even if it's not playing, not doing anything, it still draws resources. So if this was like your, a video that wasn't playing, but it was like this, then it's still drawing resources. As soon as you do that, it stops taking up all those resources. It starts saving them. I always put the eye off. Yeah. It's just one of those things you have to, you're going through and seeing, especially with this profiler, you can go through it and go, where can I start, where can I kind of hide things, make it easier. Because I bet if I turn this reaction scene off, things will kind of jump down a little bit. So if I turn off like everything that can possibly be turned on, like you're already seeing a drop in like everything. Just because I turned off, all the channel